Let's see. We've got literally same thing. This should be what black just trips over himself to play because it's
Wow,
the unusually large portion of the board.
it's bigger.
Whoa, could not hear you. Let me turn up the volume even more.
No,
No,
James, we can hear you quite well.
can you hear me?
Very
I can,
quietly.
Hang
yeah.
on. Let me put in my earpiece.
Yeah, maybe put it closer to your mouth or something because it's very hard to understand you.
I can make out what you're saying now that I've turned up Zoom.
Okay.
So what were you saying?
Um, can you hear me?
It's a bit
Yeah.
better,
What?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, I was saying, why is that move so important?
All right. So like I just went over in the previous game, and it's weird that this is like something that a lot of people are oblivious to, but if you look at, widest parts of the board, that's generally where you want to develop. So if we compare approaching the left-hand side of the board, a nice little 4-4 point, there's like 11 lines there. If we want to approach the right-hand side, there are, hello? Could you go away? Thank you. You're ruining my numbers. Try that one again. There's actually one extra. Interesting. So this is wider than the left side, which is not something you usually find. For example, if the 3-4 is facing this way, then you can approach here, but you're not building while contesting the largest side. You're just approaching and trying to deny development. What's weird about the 3-4 here as white while it faces is it really limits what black or what white can do. White can take territory, in which case black is developing and kind of keeping white low and having an easy time of keeping white low later on. That follow-up is why we kind of hate this, because we don't have a really good answer to prevent black expanding, which is one reason for the move, denying an enclosure, which is another reason for the move, and yeah, all of these, like with just one move, where you have multiple value for it, when usually we don't. Like if we just approach here, sure, we're approaching the slightly smaller side. We can still get an enclosure, but we don't have the same easy development as something like this, for example. And if our opponent pincers us to deny the easy development, then they're denying themselves territory. Now, this is potentially an even board, but it's an even board with white being under severe attack because there's threats to go away, white. There's threats to easily enclose here. There's threats to easily cap here. If white tries to wiggle out of it, I mean, we're just picking up fourth line territory compared to what? What did white get? Not a whole lot. So black is currently outvaluing white, and white has to do something about it. If you look in pro games, 9 times out of 10, they're aware of that same thing. So instead of answering one, they will go and approach elsewhere to start a fight. Usually when they play this move, it's because they want to be aggressive and they want to start contesting things for the entire game.
You mean when they approach somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
if
right.
white plays a 3-4 here facing,
Yeah.
they don't answer locally and they go do other things because they just want to turn the whole board into one giant,
A fight.
contest.
Okay.
So playing here is a little bit passive. There are, what does white play? Enclosure? Yeah. If I was white, I probably would have kept this low. I think this is actually a pretty good move for you later. You approach on the inside. We don't do the attachment from this. That's only if there's an enclosure already in place. For now, I would go ahead and just play the 3-3, and then I expect something like this one. Downside about playing how white is playing is we also have to kind of play a move around 10. Otherwise, there is a really cheap and easy shoulder hit that we can't do anything about. Like this just lives, and white has got nothing on it. Some greedy players will say, "Oh yes, I do. I can try to pincer this," and that doesn't work because that works for about where to pincer here. That works for about approximately one move, and then it's not behind enemy lines anymore. So there goes the point of the pincer. But you will see pincers here a lot when you shoulder hit because people are just greedy. This is, yeah, again, this is okay if there's already an enclosure. This is a little weird to put yourself second line when you could have just been alive in the hello. Huh. So normally here, if there's already an enclosure, we would play something like this one, or we would absolutely play this one. Your opponent played neither of these, so what is your answer? You played that one. Okay. I kind of like the come out, but I kind of don't at the same time because I see that black is alive. I mean, you're out, you take a stone, you can do whatever you want. So right now, I very much would be interested in just denying a base for white if I want to play on left-hand side. That
Well,
seems
what's the
completely
point of
movable.
that? If I play that move, he can just attack, come over the top, and
He can, yes,
he's
yes.
connected. So
Yep.
that move seems silly to me.
So here's the thing. Since you're alive, we got a little bit of a problem here for white. Problem number one, you can play here in Sente, and then just play away. Because you can't be killed. So if you want to play that, you easily can. If you don't like just living here, you can take a little bit more of a passive approach and extend up, but we want to remove that liberty. We also want to be willing to, if our opponent tries something crazy, to cut this, because this should not work. Oops, sorry, not that. Ah! One day I will learn how to use OGS, but it will not be today. You back up, turn. There we go. Threaten the double Atari, and then if they respond, they're dead. So this is very, very bad. There's no really good answer here. Like, what do you do now? Do you deny the ladder? But then that's going to die because we can't Hane. It's just all sorts of death. So our opponent has to like play here into like here. And then I guess we can just go and attack bottom. But we can be very, very liberal with this bottom group because it's out and it's pretty much alive as is. It's really hard to kill this thing. It's not going to make a lot of points unless, we come out with it. But yeah, this is awkward because your opponent's going to answer immediately. And then what? We're not going to play away, right? Because then we're totally surrounded again, which is what we're trying to avoid, hence the coming out. But that means we're
just extending up.
But the thing is, then we should have done it initially because this isn't Sente. So our opponent is going to be able to extend again, maybe even further away since you didn't remove a liberty. That make sense?
Not really.
So if you play here and your opponent plays here, you recognize that there is a problem with this two space, right?
No.
Like we've got this, that's a problem. This is all nicely Sente. This is all nicely Sente, and we're getting, sorry, what?
For black, it's a problem. For me.
For white, it's a problem.
For white, it's a problem.
Yes, if white extends two space off of this formation, then we have a lot of moves we have to play here to make ourselves solid, at which point, as black, we can go ahead and do whatever. So there was no reason to play a move that leaves more Aji behind. We should play something more severe if we're going to be white here, which is why if we extend up, we already saw they can't Hane because we're just going to go ahead and cut that to pieces. And if they extend, we can get one more move in, but that's really about it. If they do a two space, on the other hand, we get a lot more forcing moves. We can go ahead and either just play the extend, or we can Hane. Actually, can we double Hane? No. We can do at least one. And then attack here. Keeping in mind we still have...
Okay, but even despite all that, that's not the move that you advocated, like that extension upwards. Like that no D, whatever it is, on F4. You seem like you weren't saying that's the thing to do.
Because I see black as already being alive, so I would just contest this.
Okay.
But since you didn't like the contest, we can come up. But if we come up, we have to come up severely to put pressure on the group. Because the minute we play a move that doesn't have to get answered, then it won't be answered, right? And if our move's not going to be answered, then our opponent's going to take a larger point elsewhere and get a move that they shouldn't have been able to have otherwise.
You always want to play a move that your opponent has to answer? Or like that's,
if there is one that's available, yes. If there is one that's available. And here there is, because if we extend up, our opponent, hello, you, no, you, got it. Then our opponent has 3 liberties, so they cannot ignore, otherwise we're just going to start destroying things.
Yeah.
Whereas if we play here, our opponent can do whatever they want. If they want to go and play here, they can. If they want to go and play over here, they can, because we don't really have a severe follow-up against the group because we haven't really removed its liberties away. And we're not even like moving to really surround it at the moment. Right?
I see. So I'm not, you know, sort of pressuring my opponent to pay attention to my moves as much.
Right. And what's really going to bake your noodle is you actually are pressuring your opponent. You're pressuring your opponent to respond at H3 because I'm assuming you want to try to attack the left, but I don't think it's going to be able to. And now it's making white stronger. Your opponent played away. You did play there. Does he get a base? Oh, he pushes you to him. That's nice. Okay.
It looks like white treats the bottom group as strength, right? But
it seems so, yeah. But this is definitely not strength. This is a problem.
Yeah, Jaedon, I think you should have...
Like right away, black is completely fine because black has an emergency connection in 1 move. So since we're fine in 1 move, we can just keep coming out and putting pressure on this. And the question from there is, how many moves are we investing in this group when we could have, for example, just tried to settle? Or even just tried to settle over here too. Like whichever. This is okay for the most part. Okay, I like that we're defending now. Not bad, but I'd feel a lot more comfortable if we made a jump out into the middle just to ensure we can't get pincered here very easily. Because what we're doing right now is saying that our opponent probably can't surround us. But if that proves out to be wrong, we're in trouble. Like right now I can see, oh, I don't know, just really quickly. This is probably a Sente move. That's probably a Sente move. This might be a Sente move. And then we can try to start surrounding. But if we already have a stone, let's come back here. If we already have a stone over here, then it's not really going to matter. Because our shape is going to allow us to just completely sidestep this fight. But without it, yeah, it seems valid that your opponent might suddenly find a pincer here, and then that's all over. Going for the going for a surround. I like that, but usually want to go corner, side, then center. So if I was going to play something, I'd play here first. This is risky because if your opponent literally just like takes an extension, you gotta have that middle be worth it. Oh, and took the extension. Okay. Ooh, trying to attack. Okay. So generally speaking, the attachment isn't inherently bad, but it is kind of like a last ditch effort sort of move that we're going to play it if we can't get a base any other way. So
What's the alternative?
So for me, I want to know if I can come out first. Probably not. Well, then can I go under? Probably not. But now I have enough shape where I can literally just come on out. I don't really care about the attachment. Now, the reason why I don't want to play the attachment is because the minute I make my opponent stronger, I can't do something later on, like maybe flat out cut through this.
Okay.
Like if my opponent is cut neatly into two groups later on, and I haven't given him, let's say, shape moves, I might be able to attack this. He's got to worry about himself. But if I fix him if I make him stronger, then doesn't have to worry about it at all. Yeah, and here we usually want to come out first for this reason. Like we're kind of feeding him the middle when we could have escaped first, and it was Sente.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was Sente to do so, so we might as well go ahead and do it. A little garish to do that. The cap was sufficient, but I mean, it's not the worst. Okay, this is a habit you need to cut. Kind of making black stronger. Here, it doesn't matter. Some games, the fact that you're giving them the free push might make all the difference in their shape. Here, it's okay, but it's bad form.
For who? For what?
For white here. You can see how white keeps pushing you into better shape. Like by literally pushing you into this one and then literally pushing you into here as well.
Yeah.
Whereas if we just cap, then they have to constantly read out like, okay, does any of these throw-ins do anything? These stones aren't connected yet, so are there like any cutting points? And
Yep. Okay.
Making your opponent to read constantly tires them up, so it's very...
That and its co-threats. Like...
Yeah, co-threats too, yeah.
This move alone would be a huge co-threat later on. Split the entire thing and just kill it. Okay, same thing here, just connecting would have been sufficient. Now here, black is alive. We don't care about R4. So here is where I would look at a move like, actually, if I play here, I'm gonna get separated, but I can escape. It should be fine. Yeah, I might play here, directly on sector line. Got to fit between these two stones. Sorry, what?
I think I do play there later in the game.
You should not be able to do that in your very next move. Your opponent should be like, okay, well, never playing that. And suddenly redrawing sector line. Now, if you play over in here, it's a little bit too deep because they can connect up these lines on the left.
Yeah, okay.
And then swallow it all. Where does white play? White plays what? Is white trying to kill you? Oh, that's weird because that's all connected. Yeah, this is just endgame. Ooh. Okay, technically you have Sente again. Darn it. Because there is this. And there is technically this, but none of this actually matters because even if he gets everything he wants, this group is still alive, so who cares? Getting that outside, trying to reduce the middle. White! White, you should be building, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna just not respond to that. Maybe I'll play an extra move here just so I can potentially get an extra eye shape here later on. But yeah, if you can get in like a move in here, it's really, really big. Because there's no telling how far back he's going to have to retreat. And he's got to be a little bit careful while he's doing that too. Because this area isn't completely solid. No, it might be connected. Yeah, maybe we can't disconnect that after all. Darn it.
No, just wait. Just wait to see what happens. Here, there, go back. This one move right here. I had this group. This group was totally dead. I was killing myself for not.
Yeah, you can clamp here. This is actually
Yes.
extremely common. I've seen so
I
many
didn't-
people descend here.
I didn't know what to do there, and I thought I was doing the right thing, but if I had clamped there, it would have all been over.
Yeah,
Like,
White has a
damn it.
bad order of operations here. He needs to fix this. Like, he should be fine. Like, you've got this. He's got things over in here to make sure that he's got shape there. He can enlarge this. Like, this should be alive. But yeah, that turn, oof. Ouch. Big ouch. Hypothetically, if we're going to actually kill this, it has to come from here. But I don't think we can, personally. Yeah, because he's got that one. Yep. And then make the eye. Okay, that way too works. Technically, that's a co-threat. Okay, forcing. That is not forcing, so that's when you definitely want to go and launch that invasion.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say it's probably gonna cut you. Is that a bad thing though? Before we figure out how we want to answer here, we want to know where our Aji is. So what do you play next? You play there. Before I know how I want to handle my free moves, because I can Atari here, I can Atari here, I personally want to know what his answer to this is. If he backs off, I want to do it again. If he plays the Hane here, now you have my attention, because maybe I want to just go ahead and sacrifice this to try and go after that cutting point. Fixing that. Yeah, I want to do it before we do this. Before we completely say, you know what, these stones are dead, I want to know if there's anything here. So we lose nothing by playing these first. Because like if you play here, for example, and he's like, well, you can't cut anymore. Like, okay, thanks. I'll take that. I get to come in now. Yay. It's very roomy in here. So yeah, this is just kind of getting rid of Aji for no reason. That cut works for you now, for him, sorry. And then yeah, this isn't gonna work. We need Aji to pull this off, and right now I don't see a way to threaten a base and middle stuff. Like right now, he could probably just descend. Just to keep any base you have undercut. And then yeah, this should die. White, same thing, no reason to freak out, just descend. Don't let him get in forcing moves, and yeah, white should be able to kill black here. Okay. Okay. So close. Oh, he didn't see it. Oh no. Okay, so that almost works. If you had more liberties here. Because we can't do this, right? Actually, hold on. Can we do this? No, that won't work. 1 second. Not completely convinced we can't do it yet. Nope, yep, all right, it's dead. Ouch. Congratulations for seeing it, though. Let's see, those two stones strike me as small. I want to push in, if I can. I want to just kill those off, actually, and just take this area. Because if we connect, then he can jump in, start reducing. Don't want that to happen. I think that about covers this game, though. Oof, that was pain. Connecting here is actually still huge because go away white. There's a lot of bad Aji here. Easy net for killing 3 stones. Nothing he can do about it. So he's got to connect first. Come back here, white. And then if there's anything here, then you can just go ahead and connect on up. That'll cover this game. Any questions about it? Oh, hello. Okay, that did die. Yeah, any questions about the game?
Jaedon gems.
Takeaway.
Takeaway from this? Let's see. Well, for white, that takeaway wasn't previously aware. Then this opening stone is definitely huge in my opinion. Jiseki, I don't really care that black messed up the Jiseki. I mean, you can learn that after the game. You can look it up, see if that was like the correct answer. That's a little thing. For black, though, definitely more forcing moves or more severe moves. Like if you're gonna do something, what's the most amount of damage I can do to my opponent while I'm doing it? That's how we find moves like one. We're actually getting rid of a liberty, whereas this one doesn't do that. So we can eliminate this one and find this one instead. So that was big. Where was it? For both players, it was the center because for a while we can see this middle is growing, and both players just kind of like ignored it growing for a very long time. Like the move to reduce took a long time to play in. White didn't move to expand on it for a while. When they did, it was wrong side. Here, definitely making sure that we come out if we're invading before getting a base. That way we can't just be re-surrounded and give away a bunch of points. Yeah, I think those were the highlights. Yeah, that's about it.